Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, back with another round of GAC 3v3. This is the third round of week 2, so I want to show you guys how this one went. My opponent set a really light defense, and I was worried about, look what he's got out front and, up top. I'll show you guys before we dive into the bottom, but it's like standard stuff. Like, there's not really anything to kind of throw you for a loop, and there's no GLs showing. So he kept like everything. He put down his Darth Revan, but there's not anything too spectacular showing. So I'm curious what he might have in the back. So I don't want to burn too much power out front, but I'm going to use kind of the standard stuff I've been using. So my Supreme Leader Kylo here to go against his DR trio, because I think that's probably the best banners. Like I said in my last video, there's no sense trying to mirror match it, because that can go south in 3v3 really quickly. And even if you outspeed and everything, you can still end up losing in a mirror. And I don't want that. So you see it's pretty easy here. Just knock them out, end up with 54 banners that time. Sometimes you can get 55, but I got 54, that was fine. He's got his CLS, Chupio, and C3PO team. So I'm going against that with JTR, BB-8, and R2. Seems to work pretty well. I know there's other things you can use. This seems to be the most reliable. I think I've only ever lost once with it up against a guildmate. And I think he modded specifically against that. And I mean, if you're going to take the time to do all that, more power to you, and you deserve the win. If you can cause a drop like that by anticipating your opponent's counters and modding specifically against that, good for you. But I can't. I have enough of a headache just trying to figure out what 15 teams are going on defense and what 15 teams can I make out of the characters I have left for offense. And even if you save your Galactic Legends for offense, I mean, they can still only take out one team each. So you still got to get creative sometimes. So anyway, there was Rey against that. I went with my Imp Troopers against this Fin Poe team. It's been working for me all season, and I've been using it a lot. And in this time, even though I went first, I guess I just didn't get enough turn meter, and their Finn got to go and just tore up my Imp Troopers. So that was no good. I had to circle back to that in a minute. So I went ahead and threw some Jawas in against Mon Mothma. These seem to be working pretty well here. Ever since I changed their mods, really just put high protection and some health and defense mods on them. And I think they're all sitting at Relic 5. And look at that. They cleared the board, 51 banners, good enough, got some use out of some Jawas. So now I'm going back against that Fin Poe team. And I was trying to think, what can I use? Because he's got a really fast Finn, and I end up burning my Imp Troopers, which was my go-to. What I probably should have done is sub-range out for Moff Gideon, and that would have saved me Vader and Thrawn right there, and 20 points. But since I didn't think to do that, I'm going in with Vader lead, Thrawn, and Moff Gideon. He's fast enough that he can still outspeed, reset the turn meter. Obviously, I got rid of Finn, no problem, first off. Now it's just about trying to kill or stun or ability block before I get some damage done to me, just so I can get the best score I can, even though it's a cleanup. So 34, best I could do there. Got through that one. So one drop out front, that's definitely not what you want when it's going to be like an efficiency type match. So now I'm going against his Newt team, Newt, Dooku, and B1. And I've got Revan with Yoda and Jolie there. I think this should work fine. I've been trying to use this combo because it lets you save kind of your better Jedi cam to go with JML and you still have Hermit Yoda to do, whatever you might need to do. So took out Dooku first. Don't want him putting people under stealth and speeding up the team and stunning people. I always try and go for him first. And I think I've seen some stats on this where people fail. I think a lot of the failures have to go to aiming at, B1 or trying to take out Newt. Always I focus on Dooku because with his counters and his stuns and just everything that he provides, he is going to end up wrecking you if you leave him unchecked. Newt can put in work too with the extortion and all that, but I think Dooku's the bigger threat there. And then I'm working down stacks of B1 while I can, and I'll take out Newt, just when I get a chance to. I'm trying to use the AoEs, Yoda's Splash, because that way it can do both. Do some damage to Newt, and also take out some B1 stacks. Just got to keep working on. He's going to keep healing up Newt, so there's really no worries to take Newt out. Because if I get him down into the red, he's just going to end up healing him up anyway. So just keep going after B1, get some stacks off him. That way he can't do a whole lot. You got to kind of balance the moves in with cleansing off the extortion. And so right now I got B1 stacks kind of low enough where I'm just ignoring the extortion and I can keep going after his stacks. Finally got him out of there. Now I can start putting work in on Newt here. So took him out. There we go. Only 50 banners. Didn't get my protection back, but I got through that wall, opened up the back, and nothing. A whole lot more generic squads. So that sucks. That means my opponent has all his GLs. He's got plenty of good stuff to just run through my board and one-shot everything. And I've already dropped a battle. So that's not going to be good for me. Remind you about what he's got up top. You can see here, we're going to start picking apart this wall and then see what kind of ships are back there. One good thing I would say, I guess, from threes is that since people are using these kind of low-level squads like this, like Karth, that we don't really get to use, and some people do have them reliced up, you got to put them somewhere. That gives you a lot of opportunity to solo if you're brave enough and know what you're doing, or you just don't care. Throw somebody in there that's pretty stout and let them go to work. So that's what Malik's doing here against Karth. He works probably better than the others, aside from, GLs. I know some people use like Crew or OG Kylo. I don't like that. I tried it before and I ended up getting my ass kicked and haven't gone back to that, even though it's been a long time ago. I think Malik's the better way to go, just with his drain and the fact that he can clear off taunt and put shock down and fear. I think he's a lot better off than, first order using one of the Kylos or something. So it seems to work, and there's a lot of opportunities for Malik solos in a typical board that people put down. They can't make it too difficult or they're going to have nothing to clear your squads on offense. So there's going to be some kind of B or C team that you can take on with Malik, and he actually gives you better banners than a solo GL because he'll get his full protection counted. So 56 banners. So look at that. Easily took out Zalbar and Karth. Working on mission. She's kind of the heavy hitter here, but she can't do anything on her own. All the little hits against him don't do anything. And 56 banners. There we go. Now we're working on the BAM team. You guys have definitely seen this counter before. Works really well, and I'm getting much faster at it, I'd say. The goal is to just pop the contract as fast as you can. So get the shots in. Usually it's Queel that has the mark over his head, so you want to hit him so you can get your bounty. And then after that, you disintegrate BAM, and then you can throw it on auto. So that's probably the easiest way to beat this team. I know I've messed around trying different strategies and stuff and different ways to go about it. I think this is definitely the best way, the quickest way anyway. So go after the contract, get that popped. As soon as that goes off, you're good. So there we go. Grief did his double tap and popped the contract. And now we just got to circle back around to Mando, and then we're going to be good. Keep going. There we go. Disintegrates up. Disintegrate, bam. And flip it on auto. And just let the AI do its work. So there they go. They stay after IG-11. Let it do its thing. Doesn't matter because all you're trying to do is just cycle back around to Mando for his disintegrate. So there we go for that. And now they can just attack Queel at their leisure. And he'll probably go down easy without any disintegrate needed. So there we go. 54 banners. Worked fine and it was pretty easy. Now got to take out Grievous. This works most of the time. I know if you watch some others like Dylar, he uses this. And, you know, it mostly works. It can fail. But I mean, it's good. You're making a team out of basically complete shit. You've got Mon Mothma and Cassian and K2. I remember when we didn't used to use them at all with Rogue One, really. And they just weren't very useful. And now she makes at least a solid B team out of like a D team. D tier tunes. You've got a solid B team that's good at taking out Grievous. And I think some people have commented on a previous video when I was asking what else can she take out. And they said something else. I'll have to go back and look what it was. But she ends up being able to take out something else. But in any case, in this time, Grievous is being a jerk, and he went after Cassian instead of K2. So you got to watch out for that, because it's easy to lose track of the fact that she's going to retreat if both Cassian and K2 are down. Even though she has her little summon, he doesn't really count for anything. So I don't want K2 to die. I got to get Cassian back, so that way, hopefully, I have more cushion before somebody ends up dying. Look at that. He's in the red. Ended up almost losing it there, but I was able to heal up and bring Cassian back, thankfully. Because, like I said, if K2 dies, that's it. You end up losing, even with Mon Mothma and her summon left over. So, thankfully, everybody's back and look reasonably healthy with protection and all that. So, we're good there. Just got to try and get down this lone Grievous. It's a little bit of a process in itself because he just heals up and keeps going. Thankfully, you can put down the debuffs and, K2 keeps countering. So you can get plenty of little shots and the little damage does add up. Eventually, you'll get him down. Just got to keep after it. I don't know if you can throw it on auto and the AI will just know what to do to grind him down. Haven't really tried that. I just try and do it manually because then I can see what's going on. But I think I probably do follow the path that the AI would take. I mean, there's not much difference. I use a special when it's available and use a basic when it's not. I end up with 53 right there. So I guess that's okay. Next up, he's got an evasion team. Old Ben lead with Wampa and then Spirit. Spirit's going to constantly get foresight. Obviously, Obi-Wan can taunt. And then Wampa, if you hit him, he's going to counterattack you. There's no tech or anything to worry about because only 3 people do a squad. So I can revive. So I went in with Mother Talzin here because at least if they end up killing one, I'll be able to use Talzin's, lead ability to bring him back on a basic. And it would be nice, honestly, if they did kill Mother Talzin so I can get a bunch of free attacks in. They kind of spread out the damage, so nothing I can really do. Do damage where I can. I was able to end up getting out Kenobi there. Now I just have Wampa and Spirit left. Wampa will power up, so I got to watch out for that. I've got all 3 of mine alive and ready to go. He kills Talzin, but I get the free save from Zombie. They like to go after Zombie, and that's fine. I'm trying to get Wampa out because he's the biggest threat. I'm trying to spread that Plague around because that's going to put in the work right there. Just let Plague do its thing. So that's what I'm trying to do, get to that health underneath the protection. And there he went. I think he ended up dying to Plague after that mass assist. And now just have Spirit left to deal with. So keep going. Spirit's going to attack, do whatever. Doesn't really matter. I don't think I can heal up all the way. So I'm going to just let the AI take over and see what they can do. Because again, it could take a while because Spirit gains so much foresight all the time that every other attack is going to miss. So we'll just let the AI run through and do as many attacks as it can and end up being able to take her out sooner or later. There she goes. Got Plague still. Used special, and there, that did it. So only 50 banners there. I guess his teams are doing their job, taking off my protection and whatnot. But I got through it in one shot. Now I'm using the Triumvirate against his Separatist. This is one I haven't run into in a little bit, and some people do put these down. It's Poggle lead because he gives bonuses. I think it's increased damage to Separatist. So Poggle with Django and then Droideka. And obviously, since Poggle's the Separatist leader, it's going to proc the damage immunity from Django, so you got to look out for that. I don't have to worry about that now. That's gone. I just want to try and get both Django and Droideka out before they can do something stupid like go and take out my Nihilus. And that does happen with Django in threes because he ends up going pretty fast and doing a lot of damage. You got to watch out for that. So we'll go ahead and just annihilate him, and that way we don't have to worry about a revive. And continue working on Droideka. Scion got him down. Now it's just Poggle. So don't have to worry too much about him. He doesn't really do any damage. I think his only strength is just being a leader and having a cleanse. So there we go. Done with that. Poggle's just sitting there in the red. I'm trying to heal up as much as I can. But that's it. Done with that one for a quick 51 banners there. And that'll complete that ground zone. So now I can see what kind of ships he's got waiting for me in the back. See if it's anything I gotta be worried about. And it's not. He's got Rebels, and then he's got a Thrawn Empire fleet. So I don't mind seeing that at all. That's fine, because I hate fleet. So we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's clear that last bottom zone in the back. And hopefully I can continue on being, as efficient as I can be. And do decent. My opponent hasn't gone yet. So I have no idea what he's going to do, but he does have a lot of firepower left. Alright, we'll start taking out his squads. First up is this Night Sister team. He's got Daka with Acolyte and then Zombie. So here's the trick to this team. Okay, Daka lead. They're going to get extra defense. That's what she provides. And that makes Acolyte harder to kill. And Acolyte's going to be under stealth the majority of the time. And if you guys have fought a Relic Acolyte, she does heal up pretty quickly. So even if you get her to the red bar, she's going to end up healing herself right back up. So I was thinking how I could take these Night Sisters out and still end up, not dropping the battle. You don't want single attacks. You want people with the AoEs that do heavy damage. Well, Wampa can ramp up with that damage, so that's one good thing, is that if the battle goes on long enough, Wampa will be able to ramp up and be able to reach Acolyte that way. And he ignores defense with the weapon tech from Watt, so that's a huge plus. So even though Kara doesn't have a leadership ability, I've been using her as a tank. I tried Scarab Rebel Pathfinder. I think I tried somebody else too. Different tanks, just don't cut it. But one good thing about Kara is when she dies, she can revive. And then another thing is she does have an AoE that will, I think it stuns or dazes or, whatever. So, yeah, daze. So, there we go. We don't have to worry about a whole lot of them. Just keep going. Even though her regular basic hit doesn't do anything, the fact that she'll keep going, doing her thing and heal back up and can revive if they somehow do manage to kill her is huge, because then I can just put the tech right back on her. So let her do her thing. She keeps healing back up, gets her a little bit of protection every time she takes her turn. Got the heal over times. Meanwhile, I'm just dragging the battle out so that Wampa can power up. And once he powers up enough, he's going to be able to do that AoE and get rid of Acolyte that way. And then Kara's AoE is going to at least help a little bit, I think. So I've got auto going, just because I don't know how many times I'm going to have to cycle through Wampa's power up to AoE. But it could be a while. And you see Acolyte just heals right back up into the green. So we need Wampa to be stronger and stronger. Just a matter of lining up with Kara's AoE and Wampa's AoE and being able to finish off Acolyte that way. So that's what I'm doing. There we go. Keep going. Wampa keeps going. Keep killing zombie. Doesn't matter. Acolyte doesn't power up or anything. Was able to get rid of her there with an AoE. Now we just finish off zombie. And that'll be that. So there we go. Made it. I think she was the right choice of a tank. Even though she didn't have a leader ability. Worked out great. Now I've got to take out his Hux First Order team. So I'm throwing Padme at that. I've got Padme, Anakin, and Ahsoka. Because I don't know about you guys, but you really got to watch who you're using in these teams. Like I'm hesitant to use GK in case you end up needing him as a leader and put him down with like Cam and Barriss or somebody, some Galactic Republic Jedi. You can make an actual GRJ team that can do some damage and take somebody out. And you really do need to keep all your options open in these threes because you need 15 different teams at a minimum. So anytime you drop battles, you got to start looking at who has synergy with who. So if you can fit Ahsoka in or Anakin in, people you don't typically use, go ahead and do it. And that saves you more options for later for other teams. So now I can start using my GLs. I've killed enough teams where I'm confident that they can solo, maybe make me up some banners. I've got C here to go against his crew team. It's just crew OG Kylo and Red. You guys have probably seen this team a few times. Probably can just end up autoing it, but you know, I'm not going to do that straight from the get-go and make sure I can try to heal up if I can, because you can end up beating this team and getting a full 56 banners from this if you time it right. Sometimes you won't be able to do that, but if you time it right, you know, max your banners. Every point counts. I know in the first week I was able to win just by 2 banners here, 3 banners there. I got 55 for that C team. Now I've got Rey against his Bo-Katan team with Canderous there, Armorer there. I was nervous about Armorer putting that tech on. Wondered if that would, you know, do anything. And since Canderous was taunting, I had to whirlwind him right there. Wanted to get Armorer out because I didn't want her wrapping Bo-Katan up in Beskar. But she was able to anyway. So, oh well, nothing I can do now. We'll just keep going after her. And hopefully the ultimate will be able to do enough damage or another whirlwind or something. So we'll see how that pans out. Just got to keep going after them. Trying to work down their protection, because eventually I'll make it to ultimate, and then once I do, as long as they have low protection, they both should die. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. There we go, ultimate, in and out, boom, done. 54 banners there, not too bad for a solo. And then for this one, I got Jedi, Jedi Master Luke, and then Cam with Hermit Yoda. And it's 2 tanks and then Vandor to fight through. So this team is like deceptively tough. There's not a lot of damage here, but the fact that they can trade the taunt back and forth, you know, if you bring the wrong team, you're going to be screwed because they're just going to heal and revive and there's nothing you can do about it. But here bringing in Jedi Master Luke, obviously they're not going to be able to stand up to this. I'm just saying, if you didn't have this, you sure wouldn't have a quick and easy battle there. and thankfully I did. So got rid of that. Now I can go after these ships. Remind you guys of what he's got back there. He's got Tarkin-led Empire, and then his rebels, Akbar, with the rebels. So I have almost everything good. I used my negotiator against his rebels, ended up with 66 banners there, so that worked out pretty nice. Got through that one. Anything 65 plus is amazing, and 60 plus is what I hope for. I ended up getting 62 with my malevolence against his empire, so that was fine enough. I figured I put up a pretty decent score even for dropping a battle. He does have a lot of firepower left though, so I'm thinking like, man, is he just gonna one-shot everything? And is hopefully he'll struggle somewhere. So I put up 32.99 with even dropping a battle. I thought that was pretty good. So what happened was he never went. Like, I don't know if he got busy or what, but that was it. 32.99, and he never even tried to attack at all. So all that worrying for nothing. Ended up winning 3-0 that week, and so I'll take it. A win's a win. So we'll see you guys in this next week and see what happens. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.